Good evening, everyone. Today, I want to share with you the story of a small nation. An island, my island, that even Mark Twain himself described when he visited the country at the end of the 19th century as the model of inspiration for paradise. In his own words, the island was made first and then heaven, and that heaven was copied after the island. But underneath that beauty, there is another story. Join me as we delve into the intricacies of a system which has been the way of the world for centuries. A system many people believe plague economies and ruin economies. How people in power favor those that have entrenched family connections with them, and the ethical challenges that comes from addressing this problem as a global issue. From securing hospital appointments to faculty, from school admissions to politics, everything is influenced by connections. Let's explore this strange world where a position of power is inherited, not earned, bypassing democratic processes for personal gain. And I promise you that the 6.5 minutes which compose this talk will show you how a nation that prides itself in democracy has turned its very system of government into a pool for personal benefit. This island has the very peculiar tendency of having high-ranked governmental officials also appoint friends and family with high-ranked governmental positions, making room for a makeshift elite that instills decisions with an iron fist. Is this not nepotism at its very core? The word itself derives from the ancient Latin nepos, meaning grandchild or nephew, and it already implies selection based on connections rather than competence. So the word itself carries a very negative connotation, and whether that is in Asia, Europe, or Africa, every country has some form of preference, favoritism, or bias going on inside its government. But I ask you this: if history itself is a testament to hereditary succession, if dynasties, whether in education, politics, or philanthropy, have shaped the very world we live in today, can we truly dismiss it as unjust? If civilizations have been built, legacies forged, and humanity has not just survived, but thrived under these very conditions, can we truly question its effectiveness or its ethics? For you see, there is a term that puts this entire concept into question, and that is enculturation. A person brought up by birth for a role will most likely understand it better. Who's to say that someone that has relatively no governing experience, but with different political views, may govern a country better? Who's to say that they won't get drunk on power as well? Take someone who was once considered a revolutionary hero and grand liberator in a country of Southeast Africa. He liberated his country after decades of militarism, but slowly became a tyrant and was the commander-in-chief of a famous genocide which amassed more than 30,000 deaths from 1983 to 1987. This just shows how we, people like you and me, can change when immense power is at our disposal. So, it doesn't seem so far-fetched that people in power want to pass on their perspective, traits, and knowledge to their near and dear ones. And I agree. People in power would always favor those that have similar political views to them. But to truly benefit a country's economic development, wouldn't these leaders also have to share views with people that are driven by integrity and proper values? Because that isn't the case for our little paradise, which contains a perfect example of enculturation leading to disaster. Let's take a break from all of this and imagine you are little Johnny. You see and observe your father leading a country into greatness. But despite all the knowledge you absorb from him, you simply do not have what it takes to govern a nation. But all is not lost. You remember what your father has taught you, right? Great. You use it to create a web of people that share similar political views to you. And you further extend it by adding friends and family who do not have the qualifications to operate such high governmental positions, but are willing to help you since you did them a massive favor with that job offer you just promised them. So, what does this amount to? It amounts to a lack of democracy, a complete roadblock for economic development, and the future of innocent people being tampered with, as they do not have a say in the government's choices. So, I implore you, the audience, to reflect on this pretty simple question as I conclude my talk. If culture reinforces it, and history has thrived on it, is nepotism truly unfair? Or is it simply human nature at work? Thank you.